In the previous part, we discussed how pre-fertilization event is take place as well as fertilization. In pre-fertilization, we explained complete male reproductive oral, that is stamens, structure of anther, structure of microsporangium, then the process of microsporogenesis, pollen grain, and at the same time how the pollen grain develops into male gametophyte, and finally up to formation of sperm we discussed. Then in pre-fertilization, the one more most important oral is female reproductive oral, that is gynoecium or pistil we explain, where the structure of ovule or megasporangium, then megasporogenesis and development of female gametophyte up to egg formation. Then at the same time, very specialized biological process only we seen in case of gymnosperms and angiosperms, that is pollination, types of pollination what we have in nature to pollinate the different plants without a dependence of water. That means we have a different carrying agents or pollinating agents involved in the natural pollination phenomenon. Then before going to pollination, fertilization process, we also explain the process of a pollen pistil interaction, where we explain the term what do you mean by compatibility, incompatibility, self incompatibility. Then in addition to that, even how pollen grain germination is take place, what are the biochemicals needed to germinate the pollen grain, and pollen tube growth on stigma, stylar tissue up to reach of megasporangium. Lastly, in previous part, we explained how in case of angiosperm, double fertilization and triple fusion is take place. There are different fertilization steps we explain. At the same time, now the last part of our discussion, that is post fertilization event. In post fertilization event, there are plenty of minor changes we seen in flower. In that, a ovary become fruit, ovule becomes seed, zygote become embryo, pen primary endosperm nucleus become a especially endosperm, it is a nourishing tissue. These are the four important changes we have to discuss in detail. But in addition to that, there are some changes we see after fertilization even in flower. For example, the sepals fall down, petals shed off, stamen shed off, then style and stigma cut off, ovary become fruit, ovary wall become fruit wall, then ovule become seed, outer integument become testa, inner integument become tegumen of seed. Then micropyle of ovule become micropyle of seed, whereas egg becomes zygote, later it develops into embryo, and finally young plantlet. Synergy disintegrates, antipodal cells disintegrates, nucellar tissue also undergo disintegration, whereas the polar nuclei after fertilization combines with what? A one sperm form primary endosperm cell, and that nucleus is called pen, primary endosperm nucleus. It is diploid in nature. Now in post fertilization, there are four important aspects we have to discuss, that is under post fertilization event. First one, most important, that is the endosperm formation. Second, embryo formation. Third one, seed formation. And lastly, fruit formation. After that, two more small terms are there. One is apomixis, another one polyembryony. As we know, the term endosperm formation, always endosperm is a nourishing tissue. Hence, before formation of embryo, that nourishing tissue is generally develops. If you take a nucellar tissue found in the megasporangium, generally helps to nourish the female gametophyte or embryo sac. After fertilization, that nucellus disintegrates. Now, to nourish the zygote and developing embryo, there was a development of special tissue. It is called the name endosperm. Already in previous part we know it is a central cell. That central cell we also called secondary nucleus. The central cell, secondary nucleus having two polar nuclei. They combines with a haploid sperm. That means here two haploid polar nuclei combines with a one haploid sperm and form a triploid cell. That cell is called primary endosperm cell. Primary endosperm cell we say. And this nucleus is called pen. That is primary endosperm nucleus. This primary endosperm nucleus or primary endosperm cell itself develops into endosperm by a repeated mitosis process. Here the mitosis takes place in all direction and form massive nutritive tissue. Therefore, the mitosis gives a mass of parenchyma tissue. That parenchyma tissue itself is a endosperm and it is triploid in nature. That means it contains three sets of chromosomes. As we know, the two haploid polar nuclei when combines with a what haploid sperm, a triploid what cell is formed by triple fusion process. Hence, the tissue is triploid in nature, and it is rich in nutrient. Actually, that nutrient varies from a species to species. If you take in case of groundnut, especially there is a rich oil is there. If you take most of the pulses, the endosperm contain rich protein. As you go for cereals like wheat, rice, there is a starchy food material is there. These oil, fat, starch and different types of vitamins, minerals and salts play a very important role to nourish the what? A developing embryo. Now, this a triploid tissue may generally helps for a nourishment of what? The developing embryo. Hence, the generally it we called endosperm we called nutritive tissue. Then there are three different types of endosperm formation we seen in case of plant kingdom. One is a nuclear endosperm. Second one, cytoplasmic endosperm. Then halobial endosperm. If you consider nuclear endosperm, here what happens that a primary entrant nuclear division where there is no cytoplasmic division at all. Repeated cytoplasmic division is not takes place here, cytokinesis, only nuclear division is take place. Then in later stage, there may be formation of what? The cytoplasmic division and later become a cellular endosperm. But at beginning, only nuclear division is takes place. Hence, it is called nuclear endosperm. In nuclear endosperm, beginning only repeated nuclear division is take place without the cytoplasmic division. Hence, if endosperm is young stage where we have a multinucleated cells. As there is if you take the especially matured endosperm, what happens? That nuclear division followed by in later stage cytoplasmic division. Hence, this nuclear endosperm become later cellular. If you take best example as a coconut. If you take coconut endosperm in early phase, we called tender stage, we have coconut milk only. If you analyze the coconut milk, it is a best example for a liquid endosperm, where all the cellular analysis when you carried out, only there is a presence of nuclei, there is no a particular fixed cell there. But in later stage, that coconut milk slowly deposit towards peripheral region and form coconut meat. ಅದೇ ನೋಡಿ ಎರಡು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅದ. ಕೋಕೋನಟ್ ಮೀಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೊಬ್ಬರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೋಕೋನಟ್ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಳೆನೀರು. ಕೋಕೋನಟ್ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ is a best example of liquid endosperm. Then coconut meat is a best example for solid endosperm. If you take that solid endosperm, coconut meat, where the cellular structure is analyzed, whereas in coconut milk only nuclei are present. That indicates in young stage, in nuclear endosperm formation, only nuclei are present. But in matured stage, there is a formation of a complete cells. Therefore, it is a nuclear endosperm. Whereas in some cases, the cytoplasmic endosperm formation, the nuclear division and cytoplasmic division takes place simultaneously. As a result, what happens? Complete typical cells we seen as we seen in other part of the plant body. This is what we call the name a cellular endosperm we called. Then in halobial endosperm formation, it is a almost all mixed character of nuclear as well as the cellular endosperm or cytoplasmic endosperm. That means here it is we also called cellular endosperm. Cellular endosperm. Here part of the endosperm showing complete cell. Part of the cells shows a cellular endosperm formation or cytoplasmic, partly nuclear. Therefore, it's what we call the name halobial endosperm formation. Yes, in conclusion, what we can say, in nuclear endosperm formation, first nuclear division is take place without cytoplasmic division. Hence, when you take younger stage, the endosperm shows only nuclei. But in later part, the cells are completely formed. The later it will transferred as the especially cellular level. Whereas in cellular endosperm formation, both nuclear and cytoplasmic division takes place simultaneously. Hence, we get a complete cell. Halobial endosperm formation shows that 50% like a cellular, 50% like a nuclear endosperm formation. based on the utilization of endosperm during embryonic development, the seeds, not endosperm, the seeds are classified into two types. One is endospermic seeds. That endospermic seeds we also called albuminous seeds. Then another one, non-endospermic seeds. That we called eggs albuminous seeds. In endospermic seeds, along with the embryonic development, the endosperm responsible for a preservation of food in their body. Therefore, in endospermic seed, generally we have a reserve food material in endosperm. Hence, the role of endosperm is here too. One, they helps for embryonic development, also helps to store the food material. For example, you take all cereals, suppose rice, wheat, jawar, maize, barley, ragi, all these members generally showing endospermic nature, where in these plants the early embryonic development and complete embryo is nourished by endosperm. At the same time, whereas in non-endospermic seed or eggs albuminous seed, we seen in case of mainly pulses like beans, soya bean, Bengal gram, green gram, groundnut. In this case, the endosperm have only role to nourish the developing embryo, but they will not.
समुद्र सहितं पूर्याच्छदा मंगलम शुभ मुहूर्ते सावधान ओम चैतन्यं च
Either groundnut seed
नमनाद बिंदु कलातीतं तस्मै
cotyledons are swollen. In that cotyledon, generally food is stored, but endosperm may not store food at all.